YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician's channel. And today I was going to do a video on wrapping my headers. I have some Shorty Racing headers. I did purchase them in high school almost 10 years ago, and they were originally on this block that I have installed in the Camaro now, but in a different Camaro. But they've been sitting around in my father's garage for almost 10 years, and they're cheaper. They're probably around $150. And I can't remember if they're Jegs brand or Summit Racing brand or whatever. They are a lower quality header, but they did good for, you know, the couple hundred miles that I did drive it before I left for the Army. Now they are 1.5 inch primaries and a 2.5 inch collector, I believe. But I want to step it up. I want to step it up to a 1 5/8 inch primary and a 3 inch collector. And then there's a big controversy between where the primaries meet the flange. The flange is the part that sits up against the heads. Some of the cheaper ones and some of the more expensive ones, the headers, will have a lip where the primaries come through the flange, and then some of them are flush. I don't know. Some people say that that lip is so when the gasket sits on there, it creates a good seal. So if there's a flex in the flange, or if it, you know, warps or anything like that, those lips are there to help seat it against the head still. And then some people say it's better to have them flush. I'll show you what I mean in just a little bit when we take a look at my older headers. But I'm not gonna wrap these because after 10 years sitting in the garage and being ran, they do got a little bit of rust in them. They're just not the size that I want anymore. I wanna go a little bit bigger, like I said. I'm looking at spending it, you know, anywhere from $200 to $400. I'm not going to go getting a $600 to $1,000 Shorty header. Reason I'm not running long tube headers is I've heard a lot of people being disappointed in them. Some people do like them, some people don't. Also, a lot of people have fitment issues, sometimes having to beat them to make them fit. And then there's also the clearance issue of putting an aftermarket exhaust or anything like that on there. It's sitting a little bit too low. And I just don't want to deal with any of that, so I'm just going to go with a Shorty set of headers and do a custom exhaust on it. Other than that, I looked at Hooker headers. That's like the most famous, you know, ones that people recommend for our 3rd gen Camaros. I was originally looking at the 2055s, but the 2055s have the air system on it. I do not have air systems or a cat or cats in general, so I don't need it. And their version of the 2055s without the air system is the 2460. A lot of people didn't like those back in the day because, like the 2055, you could get a white pipe with it. The 2460s did not have the option of the white pipe. Nowadays they do. So I'm still debating on if I want to do the white pipe because it brings it down into a single outlet, and I think it drops it down to a 2.5 inch collector, which I don't like. So I might just do a custom exhaust and save the $250 on the white pipe and just run the Shorty Racing headers with a custom exhaust. Other than that, I know Doug's headers make a few sets for the these Camaros, and I know Flowtech and Summit and Jegs, but I don't want to go with those brands. Those are cheaper brands and like the same primary sizes and everything as what I already have. So I'm looking at the Hooker 2460s, I believe they are. I think they're around $200, and we'll see. But if you guys have any suggestions on Shorty headers that you guys have really enjoyed, something with a little bit more primary or a little bit bigger primary and a 3 inch collector, be greatly appreciated. But let's take a look at the headers that I have. I'll show you kind of the shoddy work that they did on them, and it's got a little bit of surface rust, and I'll show you what I mean by that lip over the flange. So here are the Shorty headers that I have. They're about 10 years old, like I stated, and they're getting some rust on them down at the bases at the collectors. I do believe this is 2.5 inch collectors, so I definitely want to go with 3. But as you can see, it's, well, maybe you can see, let me give you some light. It's kind of some shoddy work in there. The other one's just as bad, if not worse. Got some dings in where the 4 primaries meet the collector. And then you can see the surface rust in there and everything. Not that I couldn't use these, not that they wouldn't work, but like I said, I want to go with bigger primaries. These are 1.5 and a 2.5 inch collector. And I want to go 1 5/8 and 3-inch collector. And then the lip I was talking about is this right here, where you can see that lip where the primaries are welded through. Some people say they should be grinded down flush. Some people say this is done on purpose. I don't know. Everybody has their mixed feelings about it. Let me know what you guys think. If I do get the Hooker 2460s, in the pictures online on Hawks Motorsports, it shows them flush and they look very nice. I do know, I watched a video on YouTube of a review of them, the ceramic coated ones, and they did not have the flush flange. It did have the lips just like these. And the reason I don't want to go with Flowtech or Summit or Jegs is because their design all takes this pipe over, where Hooker and Doug's and everything actually keep them all roughly the same length, and they bring it down here. They don't go over. The one thing I don't like about these and a lot of the other shorty headers is this pipe right here is so much shorter than all of the others. I think instead of doing this long pipe, they could have brought this one down and then done something to where this came over all of them. I don't know, but not a big deal. Trying to find something a little bit better, but you know, around the $200, $400 price range. And they don't have to be ceramic coated or anything like that. They can just be the black paint, because I'm gonna do a high temp paint on them and then wrap them in this DEI fiberglass wrap. Got 2 rolls, all your tie downs, and then you also get this high temp silicone coating that you spray on over top of this once you get them wrapped. But once I figure out what headers I'm gonna run, if you guys can help me out, give me some suggestions, I'll do a video on installing a wrap on headers. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of any suggestions that you might have. And as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you guys.